Hello and welcome to Citizen AOI, the platform where we speak truth to power. We're back again. Apologies for the earlier broadcast on this same issue of the African Development Bank. I had done all the recording and I suddenly realized that there was no voice. So I do apologize. So I've had to redo it again. I deleted it. So apologies for that. So we're going to do it again. Now, this is about the African Development Bank. The African Development Bank, as the name sounds, you would think for a minute that it is all African. But we're on closer inspection and following the discussion, I was opportune to see a video by Patrice Lumumba of Kenya, where he talked about that African Development Bank is only African Development Bank in name, because the shareholders they're not, many of them are not African. So I started to do some research. So I decided to dig a little bit. So here's what I found. Here are the member countries. I'm going to read the member countries of the African Development Bank to you. The member countries, they are Algeria, Egypt, Libya, Mauritania, Morocco, Tunisia, Benin, Burkina Faso, Cabo Verde, Cote d'Ivoire, Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mali, Nigeria, Senegal, Sierra Leone, Togo, Burundi, Comoros, Djibouti, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Kenya, Rwanda, Seychelles, Somalia, Sudan, South Sudan, Tanzania, Cameroon, Central African Republic, Chad, Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, Angola, Botswana, Lesotho, Madagascar, Malawi, Mauritius, Mozambique, Namibia, Sao Tome and Principe, South Africa, Eswatini, Zambia, and of course, finally, Zimbabwe. So those are the countries that are naturally, rightly, you would not be surprised that they are part of the African Development Bank. So you would think, yes, these countries came together. From the way they are saying African Development Bank, you would think this is organized purely by these countries. But look closely. Let us scroll down a little bit more so you will see this. There are non-regional members of the country. This is where it gets interesting. Let's look at the names. Argentina, Austria, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, China, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, India, Italy, Ireland, Japan, Korea, Kuwait, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Norway, Portugal, Saudi Arabia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Turkey, United Kingdom, United States of America, United Arab Emirates. ADF only. I'm not quite sure what that means. Maybe advisory something, administrative something. I don't know what that means. But anyway. The question I want to ask is, what are these countries doing on that list? What are the non-regional members doing on the list meant for African countries? How would Europe like that if suddenly, as well as having an European bank for Europeans, then you suddenly have non-regional members, Africa and others coming in? Would they like that? I don't think Joseph Borrell would like it, because he sees Europe as a garden and the rest of the world as not. So why would he want to bother with what we're doing? Why would EU and others want to bother with what we're doing in Africa? Isn't that the responsibility of Africans? This is where I think we Africans really need to check these things. We need to start checking the systems. So what I'm saying is, as they are realizing that Africans are trying to change and actually set up structures, they are putting all structures in place that makes it look like to us Africans, when you see the name African Development Bank, oh, it's African, great, I'll join that, I will listen to what they're saying. It is a way to trick us into fall into the same trap of the colonials. Remember, CFA is running 14 African countries, taking their reserves. 50% of the reserves goes to maybe even 85%. Now they're saying it's 50%. It's going to be 50%. 85% goes to France. They are the ones financing the French economy at the expense of the Africans. And of course, we know the US dollar, what it's doing in the English-speaking part. So those combined, these are financial systems draining and extracting mineral resources from Africa on a continuous basis. So when we as Africans see that and we think, oh, we don't want that, and we start thinking, oh, let's look at something else. Oh, I know, we can go and join the African Development Bank. But hey, like I said, look at those non-members. These are non-members. And many of them, all the 14 European countries that were in Berlin Conference, are in this non-regional members. which makes you know that they are controlling this. So Africans, beware. We should say no to this. This is not something we want to do, have anything to do with this African Development Bank. We should have nothing to do with it because it's being controlled by the same people who have set up the CFA and the US dollar mechanism to extract resources from Africa. Because if it's a banking thing, again, they'll be extracting resources out of Africa yet again. So we need to be aware. So let's go and look a little bit more into what they have in their books. Let's see. I'm going to try and find some more information for you. So just give me a minute. You'll see my face go off. I'll do it another way quickly, and then we'll come back. So I just want you to be able to see what I'm doing, and it's really important. So here we go. So yeah, hey presto, I'm back. Hi there. Now, so let's go ahead. So now what I want us to do now is let's go and look at the shares and all of that stuff. Not mission strategy, financial information. So we're going to look at financial information. I wonder what are you scanning us. Okay. So now, no, we're not going to look at that. I want to look at the members, shareholders, and all that stuff. It's what I want to look at. So news of topics and sectors about us. Yeah, okay. About us. We're going to go to mission strategy. Let's have a look. Corporate information. There you go. There you go. This is what I want you to see. I want you to see that there are 54 shareholders from Africa. Of course, 54 African countries. Stands to reason. But what are 27 non-African countries, non-regional members countries? What are they doing? To promote sustainable economic growth and reduce poverty in Africa? No. To ensure that Africa remains impoverished, according to what Professor Howard Nicholas said. That is the agenda. So we mustn't fall for this. So to have 27 non-African countries, you can see that. To have 27 non-African countries in part of the African Development Bank, that's an alarm bell. It's a big alarm bell. So we need to be very aware of that. I wanted to bring that to your attention. Once again, if you're wondering what that is, let us bring you the information. The countries, we just simply show you the countries. So we're going to go back here. I want to show you the non-members. So the non-regional members. These are the non-regional members. What are they doing? Why are you having why are non-regional members being part of this? African Development Bank is for Africa, not for Europe, not for America. We should be alert. We should have nothing to do with this body. We need to set up an independent African Development Bank of our own if we're going to build Africa, because these are mechanisms for simply extracting resources, wealth out of Africa. We need to be aware of that. So I just wanted to just bring that to our attention. To build Africa, we need to actually develop systems that's going to work for our people and put the needs of Africans first on African continent, pure and simple. So that's why I wanted to do this show, this broadcast. I hope you find this informative. There are information on there, and I will post it again with this updated version, because now you can hear my voice. I do apologize for what happened earlier on. So let's go back to the other way that we had it. So we're going to 1 second, and hey presto, I'm back. Hey, so we're back again. So these, what you see scrolling across the screen, they are non-regional members. What are they doing in African Development Bank? It's a no-no. Africa must take control of its resources and its mechanisms, all mechanisms. State, regional, all of it must be run, maintained, and organized and planned by Africans. No ifs, no buts. That's where we start. So for us now, alarm bells about the African Development Bank. It's big alarm bells. Let me show you one more thing before I even go, because I forgot to show you that. We're going to go into the, let's go into the mission strategy. You see that it talks about equality. All that is all, they're just words. They're meaningless. Financial. Right, let's have a look at this. Is that the one? No. So I was in there just now and I just missed. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? 1 second. It will come to me in a minute. Strategy. No, not that one. That's all just stuff to make you believe, oh, this is nice. But don't fall for the okie doke. Don't fall for the okie doke. So countries, and then in there, what is it? I just saw it just now. Sorry about that. I was flipping through very quickly, but I wanted you to see one thing. One more thing I want to bring in. Strategy, is that the one? No. Structure, that's not what we want. Just give me a minute, 1 second, 1 sec. So hello, so first thing first, what I want you to be aware of, we're back again, 1 minute. I needed to do this in a particular way, so bear with me. Bear with me. So hello, we're back again, and I wanted to talk about this briefly. Look at this here. Like I said, 27 non-African countries, non-regional members. See that? 27 non-African countries, non-regional members. That means that they are going to have enormous influence on terms of the shares. And apparently the shareholders, if they are shareholders, they can guarantee you that already since, for example, in the Nigeria's case, 1,000 naira of our own money is only worth $1 right now. You can imagine for all the 54 African countries, that's the same thing. Our currencies will be worth far less than that of the 27 countries. All our currencies in Africa put together will be only up to maybe even less than half of what one of those 27 countries would have as finances. So we have to be very aware of what I'm saying. You know, I did something yesterday where I was showing you that 1,000 naira is equivalent to $1. That shows you the weakness. And these are the financial systems that they use in extracting resources from Africa. It's important we really understand that point, and I wanted to make that point. And by the way, you don't be fooled when you see Dr. Akim Adesina as the head of African Development Bank. Oh, it's an African, great, it's fantastic. But look at the small print. That small print is what I want you to focus on. 27 non-African countries, part of whom are these particular ones. Let's go and look at them in depth for you. Where is the corporate information? So we got that now. So we're going to go and look at those countries for you, particularly countries. So here you have the non-members. The non-members are these countries, and they are holding shares. And I'm telling you, their shares will be far more far more value than those of all the 54 African countries put together, even just one of them. And that is why I'm saying we need to really be very alert and clear and understand the game that's being played here. Don't fall for the okie doke any longer. The African Development Bank is a front for yet more ways to colonize and keep Africa colonized. And we need to recognize that, set up our own systems, totally independent. We have work to do as Africans. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know how you view what you just heard from me. What are your thoughts on it? Does it resonate with you? So we're going to quickly just do this, and I want to just leave it there. So these are the countries that I'm talking to you now. These countries are non-members of African Development Bank. Now you can now see that it is only African Development Bank in name, African. That's it. Everything else, it is not African. It is controlled by the Colonials. I can mention 4 of the Berlin Conference. In fact, as many of all of the Berlin Conference members who are in non-regional members. They are Austria, Belgium, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany. Ireland is part of UK, I believe, but okay, let's say, Ireland, we mentioned it. Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Norway, Portugal, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Turkey, United Kingdom, United States. So you see that this is all Berlin Conference. The others are just fronts. Don't fall for it. Africans, we want no part of African Development Bank. Even though they have an African man, who many of us like, he's just a front. I'm sorry to say it. He's a Yoruba man like me, but he's a front. Because that African Development Bank is not independent. It is not an African-run organization. It's controlled by those Berlin Conference colonial members still as we speak. That is information I wanted you to have. That is information I want you to have. So ladies and gentlemen, you are of course watching Season A, the platform where we speak truth power. If this resonates with you, please do share. We need to awaken our people. There's a lot of work for us all to do. Africa, arise. Africa, arise. Africa, it is time to what? It is time to arise. Africa, arise. Africa, arise. Africa, arise. It is time to arise. Let me know your thoughts on what you just heard. Does it make any sense? Does it resonate with you? If it does, please don't forget, go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY. Subscribe to Citizen AY, hit the red button, hit the notification button, give us a thumbs up, help us reach more people. We are very grateful for your support. Help us to grow the platform. You are, of course, watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth power. What we'd like you to do is to what? Keep it locked on. Citizen AY. Thank you, and bye for now.